In the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I'd have said the right thing, but I must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right trip, but I must have used the wrong car. Head is in a bad place, and I wonder what it's good for. Yeah, I've been in the right place, and it must have been the wrong time. My head is in a bad place, but I'm having such a good time. I've been running, trying to get hung up in my mind. Really got to give myself a good talking to this time. I need a little brain salad surgery. Ooh, got to cue my insecurity. Yes, I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong song. Yeah, I've been in the right vein, but it seems like the wrong arm. I've been in the right world, but it seems like it's wrong, 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 wrong. Sneaking, creeping, hiding out in the street. Ooh, see my life is shaking with every person I meet. Refried confusion is making itself clear. Wonder which way do I go to get on out of here. See, I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I'd have said the right thing, but I must have used the wrong line. I took the right road, but I must have took the wrong turn. I'd made the right move, but I made it at the wrong time. All right, Evan, you got it?
Evan Lindley, everybody, let's give him some more love. He's more than a sound guy, more than a church painter. So Evan and I painted the church during COVID. So that was Jason Goldstein, everybody. So I asked him if he could do this song. You know, he went to school in New Orleans, and Dr. John, of course, was a big deal in New Orleans. So anyway, great job. And our presider today, the wonderful Miss Ginny, as she's known to our youth, or Ginny Fox to the rest of us, or Honey Mama to Bob. Sorry, Bob, I saw you there. Yeah, okay, very good. All right, so what do you say we take a deep, conscious breath and release, just setting aside the hustle, the bustle to get here. And if you're new, you know, what the hell's going on with this place? Just releasing all that. Just allowing ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Now, fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Ginny lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course within our own hearts. And as Jenny lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone who wish to have experienced the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
I want to welcome everybody here and online, and take a moment to just relax your shoulders, take a deep breath as we go into that sacred place together. And I am so grateful to be here with you today, knowing that there is one flame, one light, one power. This power is loving kindness, it's healing, it's wisdom, it is knowledge, and it is love. And everyone here, we are all connected with this one Spirit. We are the embodiment on earth of this Spirit. And all of the qualities and the attributes of this Spirit run through us as us. And so I realize here today that this service is unfolding exactly as it should. That each and every one of us will hear what we need to hear to heal our souls and soothe our heart. And that even though sometimes things on the outside may not be quite what we want, we can have peace inside by letting go of things that do not serve us. And so I am so very thankful for Reverend Mike and Evan and Jason and Mike, Carlin and Ian and everyone here who has been here, who is here today, that I simply let go and I release my word to the law that only says yes and knows exactly what to do. I let go and let God, as together we say. And so it is. Good morning. My name is Janika Mary Fox, and I'm a practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills. Okay, so we've been covering in our textbook. Look at my textbook. I definitely use this textbook. It's the first couple chapters, and today is what it does. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about what it does, and by it, I don't mean cousin it, like, but science of mind itself. And it's not, unfortunately, it's not something you can just download or go to AI and have it, tell you what to do, and then it fixes all your problems. But what it does do is something very important. What it does for me is it provides a framework for understanding the relationship between thinking, belief, and results, right? And instead of focusing only on me and what happens to me, it helps to shift my attention to how I mentally respond to the world around me. What it does, wow. To borrow a line from Wicked, I have been changed for good. My life has changed so much since I've come back here, since I've become a practitioner. You know that little angel devil you have on your shoulder? The angel's winning. I think of it when I finished my practitioner class like a bowling alley. Before, the bowling ball would go down, or my thoughts, and they'd land in the gutter, and I wouldn't know how to get out, all right? Now I have bumpers, the principles. And when I start to veer off on wrong thinking, gossiping, judging, all that kind of stuff, it gently moves me back. So that is a good thing in my life. Another thing that it does is it emphasizes awareness. It encourages people to notice their habitual thinking, that every now and then we should check in and go, what's going on in here, It can be helpful, or occasionally it can be alarming. But it's a good thing to do. Eckhart Tolle talks about awareness is the greatest agent for change. Every Christmas, this is a little story now, I look for the magic. I look for the special thing that happens at Christmas that helps me to remember that Christmas. And it was Christmas Eve. We were in the cabin in Colorado, and it hadn't happened yet. And I thought, well, maybe this will be the Christmas it doesn't happen. My brother-in-law and my cousin went to a little store down the way. It's like a 7-Eleven. And they were putting things up on the counter. And there was this little man behind them with a long white beard. He was about 35, 40, very hippie looking, And right before they were going to check out, they remembered my cashews. I asked for cashews because I get them on Christmas. So they went back to get my cashews. And the man, when they came back, the man was paying for his merchandise and all of their merchandise, which was about $190. And they said, wait a minute, this is ours. And he looked up at them in a special way and just went, Merry Christmas. And he walked out, and they just looked at each other. And so then they paid for the person behind them. And then that person paid for the person behind him. And when they came back and told me this, my favorite movie is Pay It Forward. And that was seeing Pay It Forward in real life. And that was my special Christmas. I went, oh, there it is. And I said to myself, Ernest Holmes says, I know that the faith within me now neutralizes all doubt. I didn't need to doubt that, So, coincidence? Maybe. However, I like to believe there really isn't coincidence. So in conclusion, everything I think is connected. And so the next time I feel out of control, confused, doubting, overwhelmed, I will remember this system isn't about controlling everything. It's about understanding how much influence thought already has and learning how to use it more wisely. What it does, it helps me to see the connection. Thank you.
No New Year's Day to celebrate, no chocolate-covered candy hearts to give away, no first of spring, no song to sing. In fact, here's just another ordinary day. No April rain, no flowers bloom, no wedding Saturday within the month of June. But what it is something true, made up of these three words that I must say to you. Well, I just come to say I love you. Yes, I just come to say how much I care. Yes, I just come to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. No summer's high, no warm July, no harvest moon to light one tender August night, no autumn breeze, no falling leaves, not even time for birds to fly to southern skies, no Libra sun, no Halloween, no giving thanks to all the Christmas joy you bring. But what it is, though old, so new, to fill your heart with those three words could never do. Yes, I just come to say I love you. I just come to say how much I care. 'Cause I just come to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I just come to say I love you. Yes, I just come to say how much I care. Yes, I just come to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Let's give him a little bit more. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Practitioners, today, these are our announcements. They're available for a 2-minute tune-up. If you're a licensed practitioner, please raise your hand. And let's take a second to look at these great practitioners. Okay. All right. And next Sunday, January 25th at 10:30, join us for Reverend Dr. Mike's final service. Oh, dear. Following this, we will gather for a special cake reception in Sparks Fellowship Hall. And as we gratefully know, all the best awaits him on his journey into retirement. And as a retired person of 10 years, you'll love it. We'll miss you, but you'll love it. Next Wednesday, January 21st at 7 p.m., join practitioner Wayne McDonald as he takes us on a peaceful meditation within Tibetan singing bowls. Love offerings accepted at the door. January 26th from 6:30 to 9, Science Mind Foundation class begins, and I just signed up for it 3 times. This will be my 3rd time. Start the new year off with this great accredited class that is being offered. Instructors Reverend Nancy Woods and Andrea Rhett will delve into a journey of principles and practice, spiritual mind treatment, and so much more. Please see the sign-up sheet in Sparks Hall or contact Danny at the church office to register. And today, LOA and Animal Kingship. Okay, Law of Attraction and Animal Kingship groups meet online at 1 o'clock. For animal kinship, please contact Reverend Kathy at 818-983, it's right up there, 7136. And for Law of Attraction, contact Emily at joyvibrations@gmail.com. And now our gratitude box. Who's doing it? Oh, okay.
So quiet.
Thank you.
Okay, gratitude box. I am grateful for this box. Okay, so I am grateful for everything life brings. There is always something to learn. I love that. Yay!
Wow. And now, if you'll please join me in a declaration of principles. If you'd like, please stand. We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Love is my decision, up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision, no one else could tell me to start. And Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision, no one else can make me forgive. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision, up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision, no one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now.
All right. I don't know why I keep singing "Love is my religion" instead of my decision, but there you go. Ziggy keeps leaking in my brain, I guess. So it is, what it does is, by the way, nice job on what it does, Jenny. Also, I want to welcome our friends who are joining us online. I forgot to do that this morning. So if you're joining us for the first time, thanks for finding us, and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you can be notified anytime we are online. And the other thing is I would like to thank Mike Carlin for providing that slide that has a photograph of my retirement, because that photograph's 15 years ago. So I feel really, really good about that. But, you know, there's a story behind that with this thing about what it does. So one of our members here, we were out at Westlake for some kind of a function. And she said, here, let me take your picture. And there was this foliage behind me. And I guess it was good lighting or whatever. And so I said, well, what do you want me to do? She goes, well, just stand and do this. And so I said, you mean like this? And she took the shot. And then when I saw it, I said, oh, this will be my author photo. Right? Now, I hadn't written a book yet. But but that was going to be my author photo. And so about 5 years later, when I finally got around to writing a book, that was the photograph that I used. So it's interesting how, you know, we play with this thing called the science of mind and spirit, and we really have to kind of play with it and experiment with it to find the ways, the little avenues that we can use to help set in motion that which we're longing to bring forth in our life. Now, I don't know that I was longing to bring forth a book, because typically I'm lazy by nature, and writing is kind of a solitary thing, and I'm kind of a social guy. So I didn't know how this was going to happen, but I knew I had something to say. I'll give you another example. I wanted to travel. And this was the theme in my ministerial class. So this is going back a ways. So I knew I wanted to travel, but I didn't have the money. I didn't have a passport. I didn't have my green card because, you know, I got drunk about 30 years ago and lost it. And then, I shouldn't have said that part out loud, but maybe it was 40 years ago now. But at any rate, it's been a while. It's okay. It's been a while, just saying. I'm not retiring so I can go find a park bench somewhere. But what happened was I went to one of our functions, and I knew I wanted to travel So I bid at a silent auction, I bid on a bag, a piece of luggage. All right, well, it's really too big for domestic travel, but it cost me like $10 or, whatever it was I bid on it. It's probably more than that, but you get the picture. And then I won a trip to Ireland, right? So I used to belong to this, the Irish Cultural Center had this event every March that I would go to, and they had this big drawing, and I won it, okay? But I didn't have my green card, and I didn't have a passport. So, and I couldn't get them in time. So anyway, I paid it forward to my mom, right? And so then what happened was I got the motivation then to take care of the paperwork, And then, in fact, I did get, I got my passport first because that was for all the talk about immigrants and getting all this stuff, it ain't easy to get a green card and it ain't easy to get citizenship. So for those of you who were born here, celebrate the blessing of being American, really. And because naturalized citizens choose to be here, right? So anyway, I got all this stuff squared away, and then my mom, lo and behold, said, look, I feel so good about you giving me this trip last year. She took her girlfriend. I want to take you this year. And so I finally got there. So sometimes it's, sometimes it's not, and so it is, right? Sometimes it's, and slow it is. But it happens. Right? So how to get our treatments to and so it is, rather than from slow it is really about what this chapter is about. Because as Jenny was talking about, it's about receptivity. It's about being receptive to our good and the way that we can get in the way of no one does this consciously, right? But how we unconsciously block our good. And this is the great puzzle, and this is where the work is. So the Science of Mind, Holmes himself says, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a scheme. It is not a scheme. It's a practice. It's a practice. So it starts with a spiritual practice of what? Knowing that God is way more than we think it is. And then looking into nature, so and to understand that all of creation is God expressing. So then how do we see God expressing? Well, we can look to nature and see that it's full of these natural laws, right? Starting with basic ones like the law of gravity. And, the interesting thing, the law of gravity, the laws of electricity, these things were around since the beginning of time, right? And yet man did not discover them until, when was Newton? 1600s? Right? 1600s. So, that's in the, in 100,000, let's say man discovered fire 100,000 years ago, just to pick a number. That's pretty recently, right? So maybe it really is slow, it is, right? But my point is that the principle and the truth was always there and awaiting what? Our discovery of it. The law of electricity the same way. Now we're discovering all these things we have these theories about quantum physics and so forth. And what are the implications of that with this idea of the field of mind of which we are both impressing and expressing through and as, right? So we really, it's kind of exciting to redefine what we believe the divine to be. Because it really may be a much more scientific idea than we have fully realized up until now. So is God less than a God if it turns out it's a quantum field of which we're interacting in? Right? So because our species evolved in these fields. Evolved as this field. We evolved in this field of electromagnetism. We're just figuring this stuff out. Psychology itself is only about 100 years old. Is that right, 100? 120? Which is kind of a philosophy, science meets philosophy kind of thing. And so in comes Holmes looking at this stuff. Now, the interesting thing about our teaching is that it's a very conservative teaching. As you dig down more into it, you see that its root is in that we are 100% responsible for our experience. Now, we can all think of exceptions as to how that is. And we can all come up with our whataboutisms. But that is the truth about the teaching. Because the receptivity, it's not about God's givingness. It's about our allowingness, if that's even a word. Right? It's all available to us, but we have to allow it. Right? We also have to do the work. You know, a trained mind is more powerful than an untrained mind, where we're introduced to that notion in this chapter. And then Holmes also talks about how we can get caught up in overthinking everything. And he says, you know, we've made a riddle out of simplicity. So let us do away with the ponderosity of thought and approach the matter simply. So here we have this conservative teaching that emerged in the 20s initially, became popularized in the 30s, 40s, 50s by Ernest Holmes, the guy who put this little thing together. We learned last week that it's a correlation of many teachings. It's, you know, he just kind of put them all together and added his own insights. Well, if this is true and that's true, if we look at Buddhism this way and Christianity this way, then what does that mean? You know, if Jesus says it is done unto you as you believe, what does that mean? If God is love, and if God is nothing but love, well, what is the implications about my life and the life of others? So he put these ideas out there. But, you know, he didn't really comment on things, systemic issues of today that we spend a lot of time focusing on, like racism and misogyny and inequality and, you know, in all of its forms. So he didn't address that particularly because it wasn't part of the conversation in his circles. That doesn't mean that he didn't demonstrate what it was to live a moral and equitable life. So this weekend we're honoring Dr. King, a pretty amazing guy. We now know that he had, he had his foibles like everyone, which actually makes him kind of more attractive to me, knowing that, you know, he had his own humanity to deal with, which means, you know, all men are subject to power tripping at some time, I think, if you give them enough rope and we'll hang ourselves. So, and by the way, I don't know who you're pulling for, but the Rams game is at 3:30 today. So I found this meme from, I've held on to this for a few years. Use me, God. Use me. Show me how to take who I am, who I want to be, what I can do, and use it for a purpose greater than myself. Now that aligns right with, that is a Holmesian idea right down the line. So they would have been very much in alignment with each other because Dr. King also talked about the need for self-responsibility. And he was a very educated guy. He had a PhD. Like, he was a real doctor. Right? My doctorate is a doctorate in divinity, but it's an honorific. So I didn't spend years toiling under the candlelight, you know, writing deep thoughts. It's a service honorific by my colleagues in the denomination. But it's still cool. I'm not giving it back. But he got his PhD from Boston University. His thesis was a comparison of the conceptions of God in the thinking of Paul Tillich and Henry Nelson Wyman, two big theologians at the time. So he was no shrinking violet when it came to thinking or writing. And yet, as smart as he was, and all of his accomplishments in that arena, underneath all of it, he was a Christian minister. He was a minister first. And with all that he knew, he found that nonviolence was far more powerful. And we're kind of seeing a microcosm of that when we're seeing the overreactions in the outer world today. That what's drawing attention is not to policy so much, but rather to the cruelty and indifference that is being displayed by some in power. Not all in power, some in power. Now, how to maximize that, right? In ways that are truly nonviolent. And, both the left and the right have gotten off the beam in that regard. And it didn't happen by accident. They had many classes. People had to be trained as to be nonviolent. 'Cause it's something I would have, it would have been an epic fail for me, right? The name calling, throwing stuff at you, sicking dogs on you, I could have dealt with maybe 5 seconds of that. I just don't have the temperament. And so Dr. King recognized this, and this was a lot of the work of the Southern Christian leadership was training people up how to be good demonstrators, right? Which means, how to maintain your manners while you're making your point. And so we're also seeing examples of that not being displayed. But rather than to break all that down, I just want to make the point that the one thing about Ernest Holmes that is implied in his writings and in his lectures is that he believed in the sanctity of all people. And I suspect that had he lived long enough, because he died in 60, at 73. So he was, in 73 and 60 was old, right? 69 today is pretty youthful. But in those days, right, remember when you thought 65, oh, that's so old, and then you got to be 60? Well, maybe not so old. But what is implied in the writings and lectures of Ernest Holmes is that he believed in the sanctity of all people. And I suspect he would have marched with Dr. King had he been able to do so. And but as I said, this teaching is a conservative teaching that is now in many communities that are progressive. And so the denomination has spent a lot of time, a lot of energy trying to address this stuff. But what I think is most important is that member centers are open, receptive, and safe to all people whose beliefs are anchored in faith and love. And maybe even to those who aren't quite there yet, so they can explore the truth of their own life and maybe find their way to faith and love as they understand it. Right? So, for instance, you are not going to change someone with a hard heart by excluding them out of a spiritual community. You just are not. And there are churches they can go to where you can harden it right on up. Just surround it with all that good Old Testament judgmental fire and brimstone. But that's not what we're doing here. Right? If God is only love, if God is love and only love, what does that mean for my life, for our life together, our life as community? We practice in here. Here's the classroom, right? And then hopefully take whatever we glean, whether it's from the music, the message, from the presider, from the people, witnessing each to the other the greatness that you are, regardless of what you think about yourself, and where all the warts are, whatever your judgments are about that, get over that stuff, man. The truth is that there has never been anyone in the universe before you. And there's never going to be anyone when you're gone. When you cross the finish line, there will never be another you. So why wouldn't you celebrate that and embrace it and love it and nurture it and respect it? Respect our bodies. Respect our mind. Cherish it. Celebrate it as the unique expression of the divine, individualized as you. Of course, we have to remember that as everyone else too, right? That means that's true for Donald Trump, as true as it is for Hillary Clinton, and Epstein. Cleverly camouflaged, the spirit cleverly camouflaged. I know, it triggers you, right? But that's where the work is, yeah? Now, just like swimming, you don't start out, that's the deep end, right? Right? You want to wade in to the shallow end first. Use the steps, the 5 steps of treatment to immerse yourself into the fluid of the divine, the Tao of the Spirit, if you will, right? Where all things are made new, right? I have no idea where I am with this thing because I've just been riffing for... But Holmes asks the question generally, if God is all power, why can't we use it? And if we can use it, in what way does it work? And as it works, what's it doing? And finally, how can we use it? So we've been kicking around, expanding our understanding of what we know God to be, and that there's this law that he keeps talking about, this law of cause and effect, and how we can utilize that, and how they're both aspects of the divine. It's love and law expressing as the one flame, if you will. It is the light. For while it is true that we are immersed in an infinite intelligence, a mind that knows all things, it is also true that this intelligence can acquaint us with its ideas only as we are able and willing to receive them. But what we draw from it, we must draw through the channel of our own minds. There's the rub, right? So when you're in the soup, it's like, oh, crap, right? When we hear that. It's hopeless. What am I going to do? Well, that's because we can only imagine the life that we've already lived. We're called to have a new thought. And to not only to have a new thought, but to know that that thought is being supported by the universe itself. That is saying as law, impersonal, not judging you for your 20s or what you're doing down at the VFW hall. I'm teasing some of our friends here. There's no judgment at all, right? So this the Maria Nemeth idea. What would you be doing with your life if money were no object and success were guaranteed? That's where you have to vision from, right? Free of the whatabouts and the if-onlys, and the rest of that BS, right? BS, in this case, being belief system. So we may start to think, that we aren't doing it right, that we need a new practitioner, and we've read the textbook looking for an answer. It just feels like it just won't reveal itself. And that our prayer work doesn't seem to be doing the trick. So we do have to get to the mentality of things. And practitioners can be helpful in this way. So can therapists, by the way. If you need outside help, get it. But for a lot of the challenges in life, the wisdom and practice of our practitioners can be very helpful. Because they're not here to tell you what to do. Because the truth is, the answer is already within you. That's why it's called a solution. I just thought of that. So, write that down. Milena, make that a reel. I know. So I got to cool myself down here. like I said, I think there's another quote up here, because I don't know how I'm going to finish this if I don't get it somewhere in my talk. So I wanted to make through the channel of our own minds. I found this photograph years ago. Because when we're in the soup, right, it feels dry, doesn't it? It feels like we've been out in the desert, right? Or worse, in the Central Valley. No, I didn't say that. But we feel like we've been in the dry places. And then we have a new thought. And it really is like the Spirit flows into this channel. But this channel is not natural. That's been created. So we create a channel. That's what our practice is about. That prayer that Dr. King started out with. Use me. Use me. And we're open to being used by God, not by our fellow man. So there are many laws that we're playing around with, right? So if we're playing around with the idea of being receptive, then we're playing around with the laws of giving and receiving, the law of reciprocity, which all of this, of course, is the law of cause and effect. This is ultimately that we are cause to our own effect. And so that when we align our thought to the best as we can, to our understanding of the divine as we currently understand it, even as we remain open to new insights and new power, right? We are engaging with the divine for guidance, for creativity, to show us the way to increase prosperity, to show us the way to more love in our life, to show us the way to, to stop talking about that book and finally write it, to show us the way to, quit making excuses and finally go travel and chip away at the material things that may be in the way. In other words, to get out of from slow it is, to get into and so it is. And that's about moving from believing that there's a power in the universe, to knowing there's a power, right? It's like Newton believed there was a law of gravity. And then one day the apple hit him on the head, apparently, and he figured out, there must be mathematics around that. That shows you how sick he was to begin with. But then he proved it, you see. Einstein had the idea of relativity, and then he did the math that proved it. A trained mind is more powerful than an untrained mind. Now, we are not all called to be Einsteins or Newtons. They come around every couple hundred years. But we are called to uncover the genius that is within you, because no one else can live the life that you are living, right? Just like no one else can go do those sit-ups for you at the gym. No one else can get you to church on a Sunday. No one else can get you to the meditation cushion but yourself. But you're not doing it on your own. We're here. We are here, backing your play. The Spirit is here, always. That you are immersed in it and surrounded by it at all times. And the indwelling presence of the Most High is in that secret space in your heart where only you, and you know where that spot is. So the task then is to allow that to come forward. So you should have hit me with the red light about 10 minutes ago, I think, but not that would have stopped me. So let's think about this thing about receptivity today as we go through the rest of this day. How, in relation to, what must I let go of to be more receptive to my good? Is there an error in my thought that needs to be released? Is there an error in my thought that we may just have a suspicion about that needs to be looked at? So if we want to experience and express a world that has more love in it, we're going to have to be that. And two things happen there. One is that we attune our eyes to the heart. We attune our ears to the heart. You know, Rumi said that back in the 14th century. He learned to hear with the ear of the heart. And it's going to take some courage to be there, because you have to be vulnerable. You have to be soft-hearted. This is a soft power game. Right? It's time to set down the sword and the shield. And to beat those swords and shields into plowshares. Right? To allow the creative impulse of life to more fully blossom and express itself in, through, and as your life. In, through, and as the life that we are building here together as community in our classes, with the music. So let us prepare a channel in our own minds for something new and wonderful today. See if we can take that into our work week. And then let's come back next week and report with each other and maybe have a little cake afterwards.
I'll tell you something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hands. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Oh, please say to me, you'll let me be your man. And please say to me, you'll let me hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Hold your hand. Oh, I wanna hold your hand. And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love I can't hide. I can't hide, I can't hide. Oh, you've got that something. I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand. Hold your hand. I wanna 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 hold your hand.
Jason Goldstein, everybody. Let's
Thank
give him some
you.
more love. Give him some love in the chat. So yesterday was June Klein's celebration of life. Her family had it here. And we learned that she was in the record business, and she was a Brit, if you didn't know that. And she was in the record business in London at the time of the Beatles, and rode the elevator down with them before they were all that. And so she was hanging out with that whole crowd back in the day, and lived to tell the tale. So she was well into her 80s. So it was a nice celebration yesterday. Come on up, Chloe. So if you've become prepared for an offering today, you can find your way to the basket. And for those of you joining us online, if you can make your way to the donation station, that'd be great. And we'll sing you through it.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through you, Spirit receives through you, Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you.
So going within for just a moment longer, as we recognize that this basket represents both the generous heart of the individual and the receptive heart of this spiritual community. So by whatever avenue your generosity finds its way here to the center, through the mail, through online giving, through the offering here this morning, we're knowing together that these gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. And that we're receiving these gifts with deep love and respect. And so from this place of blessing, this place of gratitude, then we extend a blessing upon our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know for our planet as well, in some wonderfully crazy, quizzical, cosmic way, that divine presence, the creative impulse of life, is expressing in, through, and as all of life. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see its demonstration in easy and identifiable ways, in ways great and small. And this lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power that propel us into ways of spiritual living that raise not only our own life, but the lives of those around us. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. All right. So I'm retiring. It's going to be, I just want to give this pitch. It's going to be very important that you step up your spiritual practice, right? It's actually going to be a great thing. You're going to attract the right and perfect minister who's going to take you deeper, higher, further, right? And so you got a class starting. Get into class, connect with your church mates. Myrna Morales is going to be doing a financial freedom class in February. We just don't know when or how yet. So there's going to be stuff going on. And so if you've been on the sidelines or saying, I can't make the time, I'm just pleading with you for the good of yourself to make some time, to get connected, to get plugged in. You won't regret it. I promise you, you won't regret it. And then we have some coffee and a little something on the other side. So I see some new faces, new to me anyway. So come on, join us for coffee afterwards. Ginny, let's give Jason some love one more time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And Ginny as well. And give yourselves a hand. You made it to church.
Let's get a round of applause for Rev as well.
Yeah, why not?
Boy, we are going to miss him. Okay, just a couple more minutes, okay? Let's go back into that sacred place, knowing there is one Spirit, one God. God is love. And that love is united with us. We're united with the love of God. And so we're going to play with this practice and see how it works. We're going to train our minds. And I know that when I ask, I will receive, and when I receive, I will pay it forward. And that we are 100% responsible for ourselves. And that is good. And so I'm thankful for Reverend Mike. Oh, so very thankful. That I simply let go and let the law take over and release it all to the law that says, yes, my beloved, only yes. And together we say, and so it is.
Please join me in singing the peace song. With God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.